Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services of Eastland. Tune in every Monday morning at 8:30 on KATX and KWBY, and again on Saturday morning at 9 on KATX and KWBY as Angela Robinson joins Terry Slavens to share important financial information to help you live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, estate and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
And good morning. Welcome into Life Planning 101 right here on KATX and KWBY. Not one, but two sit-ins today. And I heard in the intro, Angela Robinson and Terry Slavens. Well, I'm Blakeney Hodges. I'm sitting in for Terry Slavens. And we have Brett in place for Angela. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Blakeney. How are we doing today?
I'm good.
So really what we're going to go over today is it's kind of that procrastination is part of it, but really just to start off with the question, have you ever had a task that you knew was important, you knew needed attention, and it really was a task that you truly wanted to address, and for some reason you didn't move forward?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
You know, there's those things, and we'll kind of take to some examples. Let's just go back into life, for example. One might be we need to go to the doctor for whatever reason. Maybe it's just a checkup. Maybe we think something's wrong. Maybe that's why we don't go. But for some reason, we know we need to go see a doctor. We need to get a checkup. Maybe it's that time we all age. We get closer towards those times of certain things that we need to do. But for some reason, we don't do it. Sometimes maybe that we don't go to the doctor because we're scared what are the results going to be. We're okay with our current results.
Yeah.
We know what we think they are.
Nothing's breaking down yet.
Right. You know, if it's don't broke, don't fix it. But what if something's cracking?
Yeah.
So there's example of going to the doctor, and then I laugh. There's the one that gets pretty much all of us. Even the healthiest out there fall short every now and then. It's managing our diet.
Yes.
You know, we all talk about it. You hear each of us, and then we still make choices that we sliver off a little bit or bigger piece of that birthday cake. Whatever it might be, we go ahead and finish that steak instead of taking it home and having part of it tomorrow at lunch.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, it's those decisions that we know we need to do to maintain what we want to maintain or keep it growing in the right way. Not talking about our diet,
but yeah.
keep our health in the right direction, but for some reason we decide not to do that. Today, obviously, we're talking more not in the doctor area or the health area, but the health of our retirement planning, our legacy planning, our tax planning, business succession planning, or a combination of all the above that we know need to be taken care of and we need to be looked at. So we wonder, why might it be that we won't take action? There's a few, and we'll start through these before we get to our first break, but one might actually be fear or concern. It might be a concern of the unknown. You know, it's like we're talking about with being going to the doctor, is we know how things are going today, but we're scared or we're concerned with what the direction given to us might be. The fear of who to trust. We hear so many things out there these days, and listen to so many people giving direction, and we hear so many stories that just don't turn out the way that the good people wanted them to have happen.
Yes.
And there's good people out there giving direction that unfortunately may not be able to give the direction for your situation. So trying to find out who to trust. And then the fear of making a mistake. You know, have you ever, not made a choice?
Yes.
Because you're looking to whatever it might be in your plan, but what if you mess up? And, we have something that we take a lot of pride in and this goes all the way back to the 28 years ago when Jim Kennedy founded our companies. We've never had anybody have to go back to work that followed our direction. Okay, we don't want you to have to go back to work. You don't want to have to go back to work. You work so hard to build if it's retirement or
that's the point of retirement.
Or business, you don't want to go back and start over building it. Business owners take some risk, but they really don't want to lose it and have to start over. That just happens to entrepreneurs at times. But when you've got it, you don't want to make that mistake of having to go back to work, or that mistake of having to rebuild the business again. Those things do happen, and those fears are out there, and sometimes that causes us to halt and really not make any steps in the direction that we need to go. with that being said, when we get back from break, we'll go through some more reasons.
Okay, keep it tuned here to Life Planning 101. It's on KATX and KWBY. And we're back right here on Life Planning 101. You're listening, of course, to KATX and KWBY. And this morning, it's all about, if not now, then when, right? Did I say it right?
That's you said it perfect. If not now, then when will you take action? And we're actually going over some of the reasons. The first reason to not take action might be the concern of the unknown, who to trust, or potentially making a mistake by going forward. Something you want to ask yourself is, will the same thinking keep you moving forward? So, the next thing we want to look at is it because you're too busy? And when we get with business owners, this happens all the time. And even retirees and all of us in life, we're busy. I always laughed. My parents, when they got retired or when they retired, they thought they were going to have all this time. They found out that all their friends said, hey, you're not busy. Come help us.
Yeah.
So they even got more busy than they even planned on being, or others calling, hey, you're retired now, we can go travel. So it doesn't have to just be business owners. It's all of us. We see it more consistently with business owners because they're in the process of growing their business, and they're okay with it. And a lot of theirs is, maybe it's the tax planning part that they need help with, the business succession planning. There's things that they leave holes in, and they'll say, you know what, because my income is so good, I guess that just means I'm going to have to pay a little bit in taxes. That's the consequences. And that is true. You can pay taxes, or you can take some steps to be able to help with those. And some of the reasons why that doesn't happen is because they're too busy to take those next steps. And what we want to do is let those folks know that there is the opportunity for them to keep doing what they're doing best, and then allow the planning to be taken care of by somebody else. So what I mean by that is, let's find out the goals, whether it's the retiree or the business owner. Go through that initial process of finding out what's important to you, and then while you go on doing what you were doing, while you stay busy, there's going to be people on the back end that you trust, like we talked about, helping put those options and plans in place for you to be able to maintain that successful journey of moving forward. And we've never had anybody after tax savings say, you know what, I feel bad, I want to send a little bit more to Uncle Sam because of the tax savings. So it's just taking the time and taking the effort to be able to step back and say, all right, I know I'm busy, but I'll take a little bit of this time to do this. And it's probably a good time. I was reading last night and came across a quote by Abraham Lincoln, and he says, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and the first 4 I will spend sharpening the axe. So if you stop and digest that a little bit, and you think of anything you do in life, that planning sure helps.
The preparation really takes a lot of the heavy lifting out.
That's exactly right. And it could be the confusion, could be another fear of moving forward, is because you don't know exactly how to find out what you want, the strategies that are available to you. There's so much, like we're talking, information out there. There's other professionals. We run into it all the time, or consistently, where folks are working with their accountants, and they're great accountants, and accountants are needed. We believe that working together is going to be in the best interest of our clients and the families that we work with. Sometimes it's family and friends giving direction. You have to chuckle and say, based off of what information, what experience, how many experiences. And what you want to have is somebody that's going to help you, that's been through many experiences, may not have lived your exact life, but have lived your life through so many other experiences. And then there's the internet. The internet is great, right?
Don't Google any medical symptoms that you have, though. Do it, but just remember, it's no. That's why I laugh, because I'm like WebMD. I'm like Dr. Google here.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Googling it and trying to find out on the internet is great. Again, though, with all of the experiences for your situation, is you got to know the right questions to ask.
Yes.
Okay, you only get one chance to give the wrong medicine, whether that's to your health or to your financial plan.
Yeah.
So having the right questions to ask is what helps to be able to help get that where you want to be. So really, when you look back on it, whatever the reason might be that you choose not to take a step in putting a plan together, the one thing is we all need to remember is no matter what, we have a plan in place, because we have a plan by default. What that means, if we don't put a new plan in place, we have a current plan, no matter what we're doing in life, because if something happens, the current plan kicks in.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam kicks in, probate kicks in, whatever it might be is going to kick in. So, the procrastination or the not taking the steps is because, well, I've got my current plan. And then the question there is, so what is your current plan?
Yeah.
Because you have one. If you say you don't have one, the answer is, well, you do. It's just put together by somebody else.
Yeah. And what's the longevity of that current plan?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Maybe working now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to in 5, 7, 10, 15 years.
That's right. And does it address what's important to you, to your goals?
Yeah.
How you want to take care of your family.
It's been fitted for your needs.
That's right. That's right. I always think when you go to buy a car, it's like if you don't ask the right question, the car salesman might put you into a two-door coupe, and it's a cool two-door coupe. It's fast, it's shiny.
It's got a really cool insurance payment on it too.
And it's really good.
Oh, but you have kids.
and it's also the car that you pack to take to your ski trip to Colorado. So what are you going to do with your life vehicle? You have to ask all the right questions to be able to help you to be able to get there. So, over the years, we've had the opportunity to have many different situations presented to us. Some have been presented early with ample time so that we're able to put that unique plan together, tailored to the specific needs, goals, and wishes of those that are searching to put their perfect plan together. Unfortunately, they're not all like that. Others we have the situation where we come in on the back end, and I'll never forget a time I had a family member with a situation. We ended up in the ambulance, and I was riding in the front seat with the driver. I said, "Boy, you got a tough job," and he says, "The way I look at it is I have one of the best jobs there is, the best opportunities." He says, "Because I get to show up on somebody's worst possible day, worst possible experience in their life, and I have the opportunity to make it better."
Yeah.
And to help them. And it really just resonated with me with what we do, because sometimes we get situations brought to us and we just sit back and we go, oh my gosh, if we could have just spoke
been there, yeah.
6 months, 1 year earlier, we could have avoided this head-on collision, if you will.
Yeah.
But we can pick up the pieces and move forward. There's just certain opportunities that might not be available that were going to be available before.
Yeah. But there's still a way to work it out.
That's right. There's no time better than now to be able to start moving forward. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and take our next break, and we'll be back here in a minute.
Okay, keep it tuned right here to KATX and KWBY. It is Life Planning 101. It is the third and final segment this magnificent, hopefully going to be wet soon Monday morning, on Life Planning 101. It's KATX and KWBY. Blakeney Hodges in with Brett Robinson, and we are talking about, if not now, then when.
If not now, then when. And we were just talking about situations where you plan early or you wait till the end. And I'll have a little fun with this. Is imagine the times that you've went to take a trip. And take the two examples of one, you did everything at the last minute, and the other one, you planned it in advance. And just think of, just the anxiety that comes when you think about packing the morning of versus the night before. Let alone the big planning is if you're flying. Have you ever waited, procrastinated getting a ticket, and all of a sudden this is that one time that you needed to be 3 or 4 weeks out versus the 2 weeks or whatever it is for the flights to be able to have the cost.
Yeah, better deal.
A better deal. And then at the end of the day, also remember, what about even having the flight that you need being available?
Yeah.
You're flying with family. Usually you like to have your 4, 5, 6-year-old or anybody sitting next to you.
Yeah.
So not sitting in another seat. So I don't know if you've been there. I've been there where you have a child in a seat and you're in one somewhere else. It's usually pretty easy to get that change because you just start handing them certain bags and toys to the grown up, and they'll usually offer, you know what, I'll just go sit back there if you want to sit next to your child. But you don't want to go through any of those examples to have that happen. Sitting back and we go through a list of thinking of the clients that we have, the families that we have that did not plan or those that did. And I'll just give you a few stories of how they turned out. Have an individual who had built up a big practice and been had a successful practice for many years. And then the health instance came in. He had bad health. It led to situations of tough planning, trying to figure out how to take care of the wife, and then to the anger through the health situations, and then unfortunately to the passing, and then to the after-death planning for the surviving spouse of now what? Had all of this beautiful place, all of this plan in place, and now we have to sell the place. Yeah. We have to make all these decisions that are very difficult. An individual that didn't do the long-term care planning because they took that advice from a friend, from a colleague, like we talked about earlier, and was just going to wait that one more year. Yeah. Ended up spending down half of the assets. The spouse's health suffered and is now back to work. I told you we've never had anybody have to go back to work that followed our direction. Unfortunately, this was not following the direction and putting the plan in place. Another one is, a lot of times with business owners, it's that tax planning. They get the large accounting firm. And again, accountants are needed. I don't want any accountants to come through and be... Yeah. We want to work with accountants that want to work together with the best interest of the client in mind. But a lot of times you'll find some of these folks that say, well, gosh, I had this really big accounting firm. I had no clue that you could offer other plans besides what they had to offer. And in an accountant's defense, they spend, how many tax returns did they do? So they're extremely busy in what they're looking at. But again, they are needed. We want to work with them to help you in your situation. Let's flip the coin to the positive side. Okay, we have clients we work with, and we go through a lot. It's a retiring, the specific one retired from a large corporation. So it built up a retirement plan, had a stock in the company. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that have happened through their planning. And then the market, they're invested into the market. And the market has done really good for them over the time following the process that we put in place. So they have all these really good things going on. At the end of our visits with the families we work with, the clients that we have, we always ask, what's the best thing about today, about this visit? And even with all of the growth in the money because of the market and all of the other things that were done, the best thing that they said was, man, all of the tax savings. Because what they were able to see over all this time is when you send it to Uncle Sam, you never get it back. Yeah. Okay, I've never had them send a tax check back to me saying just for the reason of, hey, we like you, and we're just going to go ahead and send we feel sorry for you and the Cowboys, so all Cowboys fans are getting a tax check back. Doesn't happen. No, it doesn't happen. And if you don't have that money, how much growth do you get on that? None. Okay. Yeah, so you're not moving forward. When they saw that, it was just amazing to them how they were able to appreciate the planning that went into place. And if you look at that over multiple years, what that does is just amazing. We don't ever get into the situation we're in overnight, but if we take some time with our planning, we can get where we need to be. Another family that we work with, they're very charitable. So they started early with their planning, and they're very charitable. And because they started early, even with some health situations going on in the midst of all of it, because they started early, everything was able to be put in place to help them, again, like we talked about earlier, accomplish what was important to them. Okay, we don't always ask people to be charitable. We ask them if they're charitable. Yeah. Because if you are, then there may be a way, or there usually is a way to be able to use that to your advantage. If you're not, then we find out what's important to you. To them, it was giving back, and it's just an amazing thing in the smiles that are on their faces when they're able to see, and we get to go through with them and help them accomplish again what was important to them. Another individual, her husband, still young, he was in his 60s, healthy, had a premature death, but they'd been working with us ahead of time. So all of these questions of the what ifs, you know, it's the what if questions that can help you have the right answers, the right plan in place. Not that it won't happen to me. Unfortunately, a lot of us think that, and I'll pick on us men. We're the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, we're the ones thinking, well, gosh, I feel bad for them. I can't believe that happened to them. Sure, I'm glad it's never going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And we hope that's true. We don't want it to, but there's just a peace in mind when you lay down at night and you know that if certain things do happen, those that I care about are taken care of. Now, most of the wives, the women, they're easier because they go to the bad situation and they put that in their minds, so they work towards putting that plan in place. Some of us men are the road gap there, but in this individual, everything is okay. You know, through the grieving and all of that, everything was in place. So she can take care of herself, she can travel, she can see her family. We actually have to help her say, you can spend a little bit of money. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because you have this all taken care of.
Yeah.
So when we recap and we go back through everything that we went through today, you know, if not now, then when? You know, is there anything in your life, in your planning life, in your spiritual life, in your health life, in your family life, is there anything that you want to take care of that you know needs to be taken care of? Ask yourself the question, if not now, then when? Because a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years can go by with the blink of an eye. And when we talk to retirees, well, I'm not retiring until next year. Great, we're already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
We needed to be starting earlier so that we can have everything planned for you to be able to, again, do what's important to each of us, what your goals are, what's important to you, to help you accomplish. We want to help you accomplish. Maybe it's the fear of the unknown. Hopefully we can be the one that you can trust, that you know that what we're doing is in your benefit. We're putting together things to be able to help you accomplish what you want to and help you not make a mistake. You know, by not planning is a mistake in itself. Some bad things can happen. There can be some loved ones left devastated because they didn't have a plan in place, and we want to help that to be taken care of. We want to help the confusion, so you can go through the Google, and we can help you ask the right questions, what to type into the bar and what's available. If you're too busy, business owners, gosh, I can't tell you how important it is to let somebody help you on the back end. You work so hard to get to where you are. You don't want to lose it overnight just because of an unavoidable risk that you had out there. So whatever the reason might be, you know, remember, even if you don't work to put a plan in place, you have a plan in place.
Yes.
And the real question you need to ask, or another question important, is what does that plan look like? Okay, so if not now, then when? Wish you all to have a great day and hope we get extremely wet.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brett. And we'll be back here next Monday with some more Life Planning 101 on KATX and KWBY.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services of Eastland. Tune in every Monday morning at 8:30 on KATX and KWBY, and again on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on KATX and KWBY for more Life Planning 101.
Advisory services offered through Smart Money Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Kennedy Financial Services Incorporated is an independent of Calton & Associates Incorporated and Smart Money Group, LLC.